This is the 2024 version of the Acura Integra. This is the A-Spec trim level we're going to be looking at today. It comes in a very attractive exterior color of Apex Blue. At least I think it looks good. Tell me what your favorite exterior color is on these Acura Integra models. And it has a very roomy rear cargo area with this hatchback style rear cargo area, a roomy back seat, a lot of leg room, something you might not expect, but it is here. Quite a few features and technology for the money, and it is a lot of fun to drive. Let's dig in and see exactly what you get for the sticker price on this particular model. One of the advantages of the Apex Blue exterior color is that it really shows off the body lines of the Integra A-Spec that we're taking a look at in today's video. Something that is dependent on perspective has to do with the front grille. We're going to have gloss black pretty much everywhere you look on the exterior of the front end of the vehicle. But what I'm referring to is, to me, it looks like somebody took the Acura logo, threw it into the center of the grille, and everything is kind of flowing away. Some people say it looks like everything is flowing towards the logo. It really is a matter of perspective. Tell me which person you are and what you think about that. We're going to have the Acura logo within the headlight housing and then Integra right underneath. Fits perfectly, doesn't it? The jewel eye LED headlights, as well as our very nicely designed daytime running lights, that cool looking turn signal, that flashing light right there that a lot of you use and a lot of you don't. Those of you who don't should. And for those of you who are wondering, hey Tom, how do I make my lights flash like that, have that kind of flickering effect that I see? The only way you can do that is look through the lens of a GoPro. That's why it's doing that, so you can't actually make them do that yourself. You do have the active air curtains here with the front end. That's going to help improve gas mileage. And tire size on the front wheel drive model we're looking at here, 235 will be the width. We're going to have a 40 series sidewall, and that's going to be wrapped around the 18-inch wheel. As we move up, we're going to see the power adjustable but manually folding side view mirrors that will have the turn signal indicators built in. We're also going to have our remote right here that has remote start. I know a lot of you want to know about that. Lock, unlock, and then we'll also be able to open that rear hatch area as well. It is a proximity key. It does have the walkaway feature and all that good stuff. We'll also take a look at the prominent body lines here on the rear. Acura definitely doing a good job as far as showing off the body lines here. It looks really nice. Gonna have that black spoiler here to finish everything off. A very nice look with the lines overall on the vehicle. The A-Spec logo, the Acura logo back here. Gonna have our rear diffuser, again in gloss black. And we'll step back here just a little bit and take a look at the dual exhaust and those very nice LED tail lights to finish everything off. Under the hood, motivation for getting down the road comes from the 1.5 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder. It puts out 200 horsepower and 192 pounds-feet of torque. And you do have two transmission options, either the CVT continuously variable single-speed transmission, and I know a lot of people don't like that, but try it out before you knock it, or you do have the option for the 6-speed manual, something that we don't see offered in very many vehicles these days. And one thing I wanted to show here, you do have capless fuel fill. Now, you notice that I just walked up and opened the gas door. Good news is when you lock the vehicle, that also locks the gas door. So you don't have to worry about that being an issue as far as having anybody come and put any foreign substances into your gas tank, just in case you're curious. And here is something I'm going to give you that you don't normally get in most car review videos. Normally when we talk about cargo capacity, it's given in cubic feet. Today I'm going to give you in inches. That way it's a little more usable. So we're looking at 40 inches as far as the width goes from side to side here. And then if we measure from right here to the area where the rear door closes to the top of the back seats, that's going to be 31 inches. If we go to the bottom area and measure to the rear right here, that's actually going to increase to about 36.5 inches. And if you need to increase your width for cargo, but you don't have anything that's too terribly big, you actually have this area on the side that actually adds an extra 8 inches. So if we measure from the wall right here all the way across to this side, we're going to find 48 inches in width. Depth or lengthwise, we're going to be looking at 64 inches if we measure from the rear area where the door closes to the top of the seats right here. And if you measure right here to the back of the rear seat, that actually increases that to 71 inches. And keep in mind, depending on where the front seats are set, that can increase or decrease a little bit of additional space. Height-wise, everything measures from a minimum of 14 inches up to a maximum of 25 inches when we measure to the roof line right there. If needed, obviously, you can remove this piece right here. And because I'm pretty sure if I don't give this particular measurement, someone's going to ask for it. What about height on the interior once we measure from right here on the seat laid flat to the roof line? That's 26 inches. Within the confines of the rear cargo area, you will find that you have the cargo lighting, so that's going to be very helpful. One thing that might be a little bit of a disappointment to people here is that underneath the floor, I don't know if I can do this one-handed or not, but it will likely be easier to show you than tell you about it. That's what you're going to find, a tire repair kit. Unfortunately, there is no spare tire. And now we'll hop into the back seat and see what rear seat passengers are going to find. We'll move that off of there. The armrest is going to be comfortable. I wouldn't leave the door open for long like this because that gets warm, but it is comfortable. It has a nice soft touch material. We're going to have the door bins right here that will hold a large bottle. And we'll hop on inside and show you that yes, there is quite a bit of leg room, even with the seats way back. I have a lot of space here. And let's see here. Yes, I know my hair is a mess, but it is what it is. Headroom at 5'10", well, you can see what I have there. And something else that's missing back here, you can see what you don't have. I don't know if that's as big of an issue in an interior of this size. No rear air conditioning vents. You will find the rear USB port and a seat map back pocket, a map pocket as some call it back there, on the back of the passenger side seat, and the fold down armrest with the cup holders built in. One other thing we can take advantage of looking at back here is going to be the standard size sunroof. Would you like to see Acura add a panoramic sunroof option for future models? Taking a look in through the passenger side front door, we're going to have basically the same setup that we saw in the rear door area, but there is one big exception. If you have a door bin snob in your life, well, guess what? They're going to be happy in the front seat because you have much larger door bins. Power and heated seats for the driver and the passenger. This time of the year, heated seats do us no good here in Northwest Louisiana, but it's worth mentioning that it's there. And if you're one of those people who maybe was worried about this model looking identical to the 11th generation of the Honda Civic, well, you can see there are some similarities. There are also some differences. We'll open the glove box and take a look at what's inside. Just space, basically. But you can see there are more connectivity options. USB, 12 volt. You have the wireless charging pad, our conventional style shifter, which is good, so no push button shifter to deal with. There is some push button technology here, but pretty simple to figure out. As far as driving modes go, you can turn off the auto stop start feature or idle stop. Your power parking brake is there, as well as brake hold mode. Here are your cup holders. And then we'll also take a look inside of the center console, a decent amount of space within that area, and it also doubles as an armrest. We're also going to have the built-in sunglass holder right there and the controls for that power sunroof that is tilt and sliding. And for the most part, things are going to look the same here on the driver's side door. Obviously, you'll have a little bit more in the way of features and functionality as far as controlling all the windows and those power side view mirrors. A big difference you will not see on the passenger side is going to be the seat memory settings right there. And if you want to do a burnout with your front wheel drive Integra, well, you can turn your traction control off right there, as you can see. Then you can appropriately adjust the steering wheel by dropping this lever. It is tilt and telescopically adjustable. We'll hop on inside and let you listen to what you hear. Hopefully that was loud enough. We'll go ahead and start everything up and let you see what happens on the dashboard. A very tastefully done dashboard, very nicely laid out. It looks modern, has a great look to it. You can see the blue surround on the gauges there. And while I'm at it, let's go ahead and run through our driving modes and we'll see what happens here as far as the changes on the dashboard go. Now, the one thing about that is that not only do you see the changes there, but you also have the graphics here on the screen. So our driving modes are going to be comfort, we're going to go to normal, sport, and individual is available as well. I really like what Acura has done here. We'll show you what it looks like with individual mode there on the dash as well. And then you'll see your steering wheel mounted controls. You've got the paddle shifters here that basically mimic shifting through that single speed transmission, but it does give that feel and functionality. You can see what all you have here. I don't need to tell you too much about that, I don't believe. And obviously you're going to have, well, this very rarely used thing here in Northwest Louisiana by drivers, but it is a turn signal lever, so it's a multitasking sort of thing. You can also control the functionality of the headlights there. You also have the fog lights that we didn't talk about earlier, but you also have the LED fog lights on the front end. So quite a bit going on there, and a very nice and tastefully done infotainment screen here. It's very easy to use or easy to learn if you've never had something like this before. So depending on who you are, it may be your first time to have technology like this. There are folks out there who haven't, and they're not as old as you think they are. Some people have just said, you know, I don't want that kind of thing yet. But now it's time for a new vehicle. A very easy system to use, so don't be afraid of it. Easy to pair your phone wirelessly. You can have Apple CarPlay or Android Auto to pair your phone and use basically that system to mirror your phone if you want to do that on the screen. So that makes things a lot easier. That way you can use whatever app you want for maps and navigation and all that stuff. And we have the multi-view rear view camera here, very quick and responsive, clear graphics, looks nice. I like what they have in this particular case here from Acura. And then we're also going to have our dual zone climate control here. I'm looking forward to turning the fan speed up on that on the test drive. And what a great segue to go into the test drive. Real quick before we do that, let me just show you, yes, the heated seats are here. I am not about to leave that on today based on the temperature outside. It's a little warm. And by the way, before we go out on our test drive, I did want to tell you, you do have all your general settings right here, everything pretty easy to figure out as far as what that is. You also have vehicle settings, very nice graphics that Acura has here in the Integra. And you've probably already realized that if you're familiar with the MDX and the RDX, you do have something here that you don't have with those models currently, at least for 2023. And that's going to be a touch screen. So you can go in here and make all sorts of changes to the vehicle. You can go in here and change your individual settings depending on how you want things to happen. If you want it to be a normal, comfort, or sport, well, there's how you do that. And you can see everything that you do here as far as that goes. For engine, steering, suspension, idle stop, we definitely would want to make sure that that is disabled. And so I'm going to leave it like that just because that's my personal preference. Just to show you what can be done, you can obviously go into the gauges and set that as well. We're currently in sport, which is what we're going to drive in. So now we're really going to get out on the road for our test drive, I promise. Okay, here we go on our test drive, and the thing I like here is that I don't even need to touch the brakes through the corner right there. Great handling. You might wonder, is 200 horsepower enough? It's plenty. It's going to take care of business without a problem. The thing that I like here is that with the way the Integra is set up, It's much like driving the 11th generation of the Civic. It just feels nice and planted and confident on the road. It feels like it's sucking itself to the road. The handling is so good that, well, if you were having a bad day and you needed a safe place to do this, obviously you could go out and have a nice, spirited driving experience and really put this car through its paces. The Integra definitely will take pretty much anything you can throw at it. You've seen that you can customize the handling and everything of the vehicle however you want to in individual mode. And at the same time, it still has a pretty good ride quality. So I can't say that it's Cadillac smooth, but I also can't say that it rides like a tank. It actually rides extremely well. If it were safe to do so, I could take this corner at a much higher rate of speed, but being that, number one, it's a residential area and that we had to deal with some of that utility work back there, well, I'm not going to be irresponsible and do anything like that. But I can definitely tell you that the handling characteristics are superb. Everything seems to work well here. It would be nice to have a press car one of these days as an Integra to do a long road trip. Maybe drive a couple of hours or so and just see what it's like. As far as the comfort level goes, I think it would be good. Everything seems to be comfortable. It's easy to find your way to everything as far as reach goes. Not difficult to deal with learning the technology, as I said earlier, and the head-up display that does have speed limit sign recognition and all that good stuff there is nice and bright. So that helps out quite a bit. You do have the adjustability to make yourself comfortable as the driver, and not too bad on acceleration either. So you just drop the hammer just a little bit there. It actually gets up and goes when you need it to without a problem. So 192 foot-pounds of torque and the 200 horsepower work very well together, is based on what I just experienced right there. I needed to slow back down a little bit. I don't know if you could see my speed or not with the camera. Trying to be a responsible driver, but still give you a good test drive at the same time. So tell me what you think down in the comments section. Is this 2024 Acura Integra A-Spec worth the sticker price? Tell me what your answer is and tell me why you answered the way that you did. I have to say a special thanks to my friends here at Acura for loaning me this model for the day. And if you want to know more about it, check out the link down in the description of the video. It will take you right to this vehicle as long as it's in inventory on their website. I also have to say a special thanks to each and every one of you for being kind enough to give me the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video and would like to learn about other vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and I will see you there.